Evil burglars steal family's beloved puppy, only to realize she has a big secret. But before we start, please take a moment to give this video a like, subscribe to Happy World, and hit the bell so you'll never miss these great stories. There's nothing quite as joyous as welcoming a new puppy into your home. There's just something so special about that life-changing moment when you begin to form a bond with a new friend. When one Australian family brought home a new puppy named Sasha, they were over the moon. So it's no surprise that they felt like their world was falling apart the moment they realized their home had been broken into and Sasha had been stolen. Luckily, Sasha was hiding something when the burglars snatched her from her home, and it just might have saved her life. When Australia's Ryan Hood and Alina Sardi welcomed an adorable 8-week-old yellow Labrador retriever puppy named Sasha into their home, they knew it was a perfect match. Their 4-year-old daughter Maya thought so too. From the moment that the two met, it was clear that they were destined to have a special bond. "She's an only child, and the only addition to the family would be a pet," said Elena in an interview with ABC News. "We picked Sasha, and Sasha picked us," Elena added. She described how Maya and the puppy were inseparable, and that was why everyone was so devastated when the worst thing imaginable happened. One day, the family was away at a doctor's appointment when burglars broke into their home. They returned to discover that their valuables, including iPads, a laptop, and jewelry, were all missing. But then they found something far more upsetting. While they were shaken that someone had broken into their home, that wasn't the worst part. All of belongings that had been stolen were replaceable. Except for one, Sasha. Who would steal a puppy? They were devastated, and no one more so than Maya. "I was heartbroken. I'm still shaking. We're really sad," said Elena in an interview shortly after the incident. "I don't care about the rest, but the dog, we want her home as soon as possible." Even though the puppy had only been adopted by the family a week before the burglary, Sasha had already become an essential part of their home. She was like a member of the family, and she was Maya's best friend. Maya and Sasha had formed such a close bond that the little girl would even fall asleep alongside the puppy in her dog bed almost every night. "It's been tough. My daughters had nightmares the first night," said Ryan. It's very difficult to explain to a 4-year-old how something like this could happen. "You never think they'd take a puppy," Ryan continued. Obviously, the situation had affected the entire family. There was a small glimmer of hope, however, because Sasha had one special secret that the burglars probably didn't expect when they targeted the home. The golden Labrador puppy had actually been microchipped. Microchipping is actually quite inexpensive, and the chip itself, which is painlessly implanted into the scruff of the dog's neck, is about the size of a grain of rice. While a microchip can't act as a GPS to help locate a lost dog, it can trace a found dog back to its rightful owner. Thanks to this microchip technology, Sasha had a unique identification number that gave veterinarians the ability to determine who Sasha was, and most importantly, where she truly belonged. This would prove to be a game changer for Sasha and her family. That's because microchips include detailed information, like the dog's name, the owner's name, and the owner's phone number and home address. Chips can be easily scanned, which makes it much easier when determining if a dog's owner is looking for them. Most animal care facilities, including veterinary clinics, have the kinds of scanners necessary for chip technology. So if someone was to return a pet, they'd be able to determine where the dog rightfully belonged. In the meantime, Sasha's family hadn't given up hope. Sasha's family missed her dearly, and their home seemed empty without her. With the hope that the burglars were listening, the family publicly warned that if Sasha wasn't returned safely, the criminals would risk being located if the microchip was scanned. The family also took full advantage of social media to spread the word about their lost puppy. Some local news outlets took notice of their story and shared it with the community at large as well. Even the Victoria Police shared the story on social media. Sasha's disappearance became the subject of news outlets everywhere. Though nothing could guarantee the puppy's safe return, it did increase the chances. All the family could do at that point was wait. Then an amazing thing happened. "We didn't want to get our hopes up," said Ryan, "and this morning my wife got up to make herself a coffee, walked past the sliding door, and noticed that there was a figure moving by the kennel. It was Sasha. She'd been returned. We think that whoever took her either has a conscience or got scared and just dropped her over the fence," Ryan continued. "We don't care, to be honest. were just glad to have her back. It might not have absolved them of their crime, but at least the burglars did the right thing in the end. Most importantly, Sasha's family finally had their newest member back where she belonged, much to everyone's relief, especially Maya's. Sasha was home now, and that was really all that mattered. Hopefully, this story inspires burglars everywhere to think twice about stealing pets.